I said, well, what do you guys say about it? And what did he read? Surah Ikhlas. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now, the meaning, when he explained the meaning, this is what got me. But while he was saying it, we were in the car.
Yes, I remember.
And you were reciting, and I told you, stop, read it again, say it again. You said, well, you don't know the Arabic. I said, no, something is beautiful. I don't know what you said.
You started crying, you don't know Arabic. I remember that.
Many times I saw other people like me who they hear the Arabic in the Quran. They don't know Arabic, but they start to cry because it's Allah's speech. And when the heart is real and sincere, it recognizes Allah's speech.
Subhanallah.
It does.
The heart does, yeah.
It's not a joke. Now, if somebody's a non-believer, won't believe that anyway, so who cares? But if somebody believes, they will recognize this Quran, this speech of Allah. And I want to come back to this. So now, I'm perplexed. I'm stressed out over this thing. I can't convert this guy. In the meantime, he brings a Quran. That big, remember the big Yusuf Ali translation?
Arlington Mosque, yes, sir.
He got it from the mosque.
Arlington Mosque, yeah.
Yeah, and he brought it, and he set it on top of the counter in my dad's store. It was set up there. And I'd look at it, and he said, do you want... I said, no, that's okay, you know. And when he wasn't looking, you see, I went over and I looked at it, and I remember my friend's warning, don't read that book. So I said this little prayer in my heart before I touched it. Oh God, protect me from any evil while I read this book. Now, any Muslim knows that that's exactly what we always say anytime we go to the Quran. Every Muslim does that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I seek refuge with Allah from the cursed devil. And then we begin to read the book. Exactly. I didn't even know I was doing the right thing. I opened it up. And what I read? Surah Fatiha.
Subhanallah.
Anybody that knows Surah Fatiha, they knows this, how beautiful it is. It says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka nabudu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim, waladallin. And this man sitting right here is the one who taught me how to recite that. I remember the first day. I remember the first day when you said, would you like to learn how to do this? And you were teaching us, Bismi, Bismi, Bismi. And we were saying, Bazmi? No, Bismi. Bozmi? No, Bismi, Bismi, Bismillah, Bismiwa, Bismillah, Bismillah. And finally we got Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I said, wow, that's good. He said, no, that's just the first part. But it said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It took us like 2 days to get that.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
But we were so excited
hundreds of times until in Arabic, and he's it takes, you know.
Careful, don't mess with Texas.
No, I'm not messing with it. Because I am one of them, so I can mess with them.
The next thing that happens, though, the Catholic priest, he asked Muhammad, can I go to your church? Meaning the masjid. He went with you. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they were having all this business going on, and so in the mosque at that time. The Muslims are the biggest enemy to Islam in America. But that's another story.
Very tough period, yeah.
Yeah. So, but when you brought Peter back, Father Peter Jacobs, when he came back to the house, do you know what we did? My wife and I took him aside and we said, what did they do in there? Did they slaughter any animals? Did they make any bombs? What were they doing? He said, no, they came and they stood and they were bowing, prostrating on the ground, sitting, and then they left. I said, that's it? He said, that's it.
Salatul Subh.
They just came and prayed and left. That was it. So I said, And
all this time you had no idea?
No, that they are doing something in my, behind me. but in the same time I started feeling motivated to explain Islam to these guys. They had so many questions.
Okay.
So that meant something to me.
Okay, so you're starting now. It's not just a business deal now.
I give it more. No, it's not only a business, just business anymore. It became just something else together with the business.
What was the point? Changing that intention that you really wanted to tell them about Islam.
Well, every time we want to just close that file, of religious debates and comparisons and all this stuff, which sometimes never ends and might create problems and difficulties and hardships, even amongst the good people if they are ignorant. But I notice that these people are not ignorant. They have a lot of knowledge in the area of religions.
Mm-hmm.
So actually it became a matter of the picture of Islam in their eyes. They're talking so much about it. And then I had to just start getting them the right picture.
SubhanAllah.
And you just become clear.
MashaAllah, you did an excellent job.
Allah is a shit. So, okay, go ahead, sir.
Well, I was just thinking that when we took that priest aside and we were asking him, what do they do, what do they do? And he was telling me, nothing, they just prayed. And I said, what kind of music did they have? And he said, they didn't have any music. I said, like, remember, I'm a music minister. That's my job in the church. I said, how can you worship God without music? So, I didn't know anything about Islam. Really, I didn't. I thought I knew something. I didn't know anything. But then, we started all thinking and asking. As he said, we asked a lot of questions. And we weren't trying to debate anymore. We were just trying to learn. What does Islam say about this? What does it say about the man and a woman's relationships? What does it say about fathers and sons and daughters?
Adoption. Once they said that they had an adoption story.
So many things. But then the Catholic priest asked you again to go the next week.
Right. Yeah.
This time they didn't come home until very late at night. And when they came home, here the priest, he got out of the car. You got out. I recognized you right away. But who is this guy with you? Because he was wearing a long white dress. He had a pillbox cap on his head. I said, what did you do? Did you become a Muslim?
Yeah, no,
and he said, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. So look at this. A Catholic priest becomes a Muslim. Now here I am telling my wife about this at night. We were just about to go to bed. Yeah. I was all excited. I was, and I'm telling her, look, this Catholic priest became a Muslim. What are you thinking about Allah, the Quran, so and so? She said, I want a divorce.
Oh.
I said, huh? She said, I want a divorce. I said, why? She said, a Muslim can't be married to a Christian. I want a divorce. I said, wait a minute. Whoa, I didn't say I want to be a Muslim. I will never be a Muslim. No. Don't worry about a divorce. Besides, Muhammad told us a Muslim woman can't be married to a Christian man. But if I became a Muslim, we could still be married. It's the Muslim woman that can't be married to the Christian man. Mm-hmm. She said, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I want to be a Muslim. I said, what? I wasn't ready for that. And then I said, wait a minute. Hold on, there's good news here. Because I really did like Islam. I didn't know how to tell anybody. I wanted to say, I couldn't. So I said, okay, I too wish to be a Muslim. That's the good news. I'll be a Muslim too. She said, I don't believe you. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. She said, no, you're a liar. I said, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. She said, you're either a liar right now or you were a liar 5 minutes ago when you said you didn't want to be a Muslim. Either way, you're a liar. I was shocked. I said, what am I going to do? So I went downstairs. Actually, she was throwing me out of the house. And I was thinking, how did she throw me out of my father's house? I went down and I woke you up.
Oh, she was throwing you out of the house?
She was, yeah.
Wow.
And I went down and got you. That's when we walked around that night. Yes. Walked all of those back roads, all through Midlothian. You remember?
Yeah, that ain't
until the sun started coming up. And I'm asking him a million questions. And finally he said it like this. He said, it was a beautiful thing he said. It's not between you and me anymore. It's not between you and your father. My father was a minister, by the way. He said, it's not between you and your wife. This is between you and your Lord. You need to go talk to him. And he let me go. And he went off to pray Fajr. And I went off and I put my head on the ground in the same direction I'd seen him do that. And I said, let me do what he did. And with my head on the ground, I said these words, oh God, guide me. And when I lifted up my head, I knew I needed to be a Muslim. I went in the house. I went upstairs. I made a shower. I came down, and in front of this man right here, and that Catholic priest, I made my shahada. I said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an Muhammad Rasulullah. A few minutes later, my wife comes down with hijab on her, and she did the same thing.
Subhanallah.
She made her, and a couple months later, my dad accepted Islam.
Yeah,
And before she died, my stepmother accepted Islam. And my children grew up as Muslims. So this one man right here, wallah, may Allah accept it from him. Allah accept from him.
Okay, I have a question for you, brother.
Responsible for all of us.
Actually, the telephone was going crazy, so we have to take some calls now.